light.
Y'all don't have any power?
I'll explain in just a minute. Hello again and welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. I'm your host, James Dillard, in the shadows of my studio here. With me, as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, Bailey?
I'm good. Looks like you're a little in the dark there tonight, James.
Well, we're having a little technical difficulties with the lighting the in-studio lighting. But you know, we'll make do. We had another technical difficulty.
I am aggravated because the Hornets are on Peacock and not on my normal channel.
That is so aggravating. We have a great show. We're going to talk about some CFP. We're going to talk about some Christmas. We're going to talk about some Pinstripe Bowl. And we are always glad to be brought to you by Rubens and Bailey Froze. Best wings around. There's a location in Greer and Powdersville. Check them out, rubensc.com. All right. Bailey is still froze. Let's see what we got here. He might be rebooting. Fade music. All right, you there, B?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. You locked up on my screen.
Okay, you locked up on my screen. We'll blame it on Verizon. So we're having multiple technical difficulties. And let me tell you, first of all, we are only live right now on YouTube. And the reason being, this is a funny story. So our friend, my former co-worker and PE teacher, retired now, Rusty Pemberton, you know Coach Pemberton, he's having or has had hip replacement surgery. Coach P, I hope everything's going well with your hip replacement. I don't know if it's gold plated or not, but and if you get that joke, you paid attention to commercials when you were a long time ago. But he had put that on Facebook, or his wife did maybe, and you know, he's having this coming up, you know, talking about it's going to be down for 6 weeks or whatever it was. So I put in the comments, take the drugs. All right. Take the drugs. Because anytime I've ever been through, you know, you take my advice or not, but you go under the knife, they give you the drugs to make you feel better, whatever they are. They're generally there to make you feel better. And so I said, take the drugs, hope it goes well, blah, blah, blah. Well, Facebook flagged my comment and put me in. I'm not in Facebook jail.
You're in
on
timeout.
Facebook. I'm in Facebook timeout, so I can't go live. This user is not allowed to go live on Facebook. So as far as I know,
Hey, it wasn't me, people. It was not me.
We have a couple of viewers now, so I don't know if I assume they're watching live on YouTube, but because I was told I was not allowed to go live on Facebook. So between that, couldn't get the light to come on in my studio, Bailey's sound. We're going to get this show done one way or another because this is a special show. It's a special night. It is Monday night Fun Fans here during the holiday break for two educators. And it feels like a while since we've been on here, Bailey. How's the fam? Everything going okay?
Yeah. Just getting ready for Christmas. Did a little Christmas shopping today. Hopefully about the end of it. Yes. But my family wanted to go on Saturday or Sunday, and I said, nope. Let's think about this. A lot of people are going back to work Monday morning.
Yes.
We're not. We're going shopping Monday. And guess what? It wasn't crazy. It wasn't crowded.
Not too bad. Huh?
It was awesome.
Well, I must say the Costco's in Spartanburg was like somebody kicked over an anthill, but it wasn't, you know, too terribly bad. But
now I do have to make a grocery store run, so I don't know if they'll have some of the stuff I'm gonna need, but I will.
This little bad boy right here and the device we are both on right now is what has aided in the Christmas shopping. My wife.
Can we talk about the lights real quick?
So yeah, what I mean, does it look spooky? It looks like a Halloween show instead of a Christmas show.
Yeah, I'm disappointed I couldn't find my Santa Claus hat, but I didn't start looking until about 30 minutes ago.
So I have one. I have a ring light over here, and I have a lamp sitting on the bed over there because I couldn't get the overhead light on, and then I have my phone on this side. So I'm I've got lighting all around. There's 3 different types of lights and 3 different angles and 3 different. I mean, it's definitely would be the least professional lighting for any type of media, I'm sure, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. We do's what we do's sometimes. All right,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
very good.
this is
So
a low budget show.
it's definitely always has been, always will be, but we have fun. All right, and we're about to have some fun for the next 20 or so more minutes. So you talked about leaving your weekend open. Did you watch the games? CFP craziness all over the place. So
I did watch a lot of football. Probably more than I normally do, but the Tigers weren't on, and it is, talked about to we're tired of hearing them talk about it. I think what we proved is that those group of 5 teams probably don't need to be in the playoff. But I have a solution because I come up with solutions.
that's right.
We're going to go to 16 teams, and we're going to have one group of 5 team in it. But the 2 top group of 5 teams can play a play-in game. That puts 2 teams on the national stage a week before this weekend, and say you got to adjust however you do your conference championships, and say let them play a play-in game, and they get to go play number 1 seed, and they're in. And that basically gives the number 1 seed a bye.
So that's definitely a potential solution. The problem with that would be we've only had, first of all, we've only had 2 examples. I'd like for everybody on the internet to slow down about how every game should be some kind of blockbuster, instant classic, best football game I've ever watched in the world football game just because it's a college football playoff game. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
There have been people have tried to list. I don't have the list, but there's 6 or 7 just in the playoff era. 6 or 7 blowout games. Clemson's been a part of a couple of them, where
Both
games were
sides.
decided by 30 or more points. So just calm down with all that stuff. And okay, there could be an argument for your solution, but with only 2 examples, there's already one example where, like last year, the group of 5 team was Boise, and they were a top 10. Everybody had them in every poll had them in the top 10. And nobody had an issue with Boise getting in and playing somebody. Last year, the issue was the conference champions should not get they shouldn't get the buys. The top 4 conference champions should not get the top 4 seeds. So they fixed that. But if we do like what you did, what you just said with last year's group, you'd have Boise playing somebody, and let's assume Boise won. Just because they're a group of 5 team, they're having to play an extra game.
I think they have to make some type of rule that says they've got to be ranked. There's going to be some type of overhaul of this thing.
Oh, there's going to be, but the thing is, I don't know if it'll be an overhaul. 3 or 5 years down the road, it'll look like an overhaul, but I think it'll be tweaks year by year. And the simplest solution is similar to what you're saying. And this would be not for just a group of 5 school, any school, even the AC. Like this year, the ACC kind of messed everything up a little bit. But the top 5, I do think they should have every Division I team should have a path to the national championship. So the top 5 conference champions should have an auto bid like now, with a caveat of some ceiling of ranking. So if you go to 16 teams, if you're not in the top 20, sorry, you may be the top ranked group of 6, or you might be the ACC champion. Duke beat Virginia. And if they weren't in the top 20, they would not have gotten into the playoffs. So you got to have a ceiling somewhere for the auto bids, and to allow more of those teams like the Notre Dames and the Texas and the Vanderbilts that didn't get in this year, could possibly get in, instead of just letting any hoo-ha team that just happened to win their conference. So either way, people have said going to 16 is inevitable, and that was before this year's playoffs. So I think when they make that tweak, they'll make some other tweak about the auto bids, maybe. What do you think about having two separate like championships?
I think that brings up the the legal debate on monopoly and excluding. And
That's
I don't
true.
know. It depends on how they would feel about it. The group
Right.
of five schools, and they may say, "Yeah, let's do that," but then we just go back to having Division One AA,
Yeah.
FCS, whatever. So
Whatever.
it, I mean, we split up high school championships. We do with Division One, Division Two, Division Three, whatever. But you're just adding another division if you do that.
Right. So I have a semi-complicated and not overly complicated way of having two. It would be like divisions, but not necessarily divisions. I think you should also have to play a minimum number of, if you're a Power Four team, you should have to play a minimum number of Power Four opponents to qualify. There should be some qualifications to be considered for the playoffs. All right. And if you're a group of six, you should have to play, I don't know what it is, but some minimum number of Power Four teams, just so we know how good you really are. If you're the Power Four teams, you should not be able to play more than one non-Power Four team if you want to be considered for the playoffs. If you don't think you're going to make the playoffs and you want to keep scheduling Furman and Troy and South Carolina State every year, then fine, but you're not going to get in the playoffs. Just period.
Right.
You go undefeated, you ain't getting in. But then you could have a second tier playoff, and anybody could get into that based on some other qualifications.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with scheduling. I mean, look at Texas A&M. After watching them against South Carolina and against Miami, I don't know that they're one of the top SEC teams. I don't think they're better than Ole Miss. I don't think they're better than Georgia. I don't think they're better than Alabama right now.
Yeah. I think they're right in there with Alabama, because Alabama can be hit and miss. But yes, I agree. They're definitely, maybe the fourth or fifth or something best team in the SEC. I watched them play Texas, and Texas, they're a good team, but then they flop against like Florida and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I like I said before, I'm not going to sit here and say the SEC is not like playing in the NFL. Look at the NFL. That's exactly what we have now in college football. Nobody goes undefeated.
That's right.
Anybody can beat anybody, and that's the way it's going to be. So they change something.
But I do think that every school, if you're going to have one playoff, every school has to have a path. So you can't just, in my opinion, you can't just leave out the group of five. However, you could put a ceiling. So like last year's Boise team, obviously they get in, but this year, I'm at Tulane may have gotten in, but JMU, no thanks. And then that
they
would
were
have
both ranked in the top 25, and I thought JMU was better than Tulane compared to, and it's hard to tell because they were playing, you got to go to Ole Miss and they go out and run 3 plays and they score. And then it's like you're running uphill the rest of the game.
I think JMU landed right at 25, maybe 24. But if I'm doing a 16-team playoff, personally, I'm cutting it off at 20.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a 12-team playoff, I'm cutting that one off at 16. They wouldn't have got in. And now and then you're going back to rankings. So it's the committee. That's how they're deciding everything. But at least there's a chance. At least there's an opportunity for those schools to get in there. But I think, once again, there were 4 college football games that really mattered. The Friday night game that was a good game had to get up by a bunch and then come back from behind and win. I mean, that looked like maybe some kind of unbalanced team, but you get into that. You don't ever know.
I mean, as much as we've been involved with athletics and stuff, you can prepare all you want to. Some nights you don't have it.
Some nights you just don't have it.
Or the other team got it, you don't.
So to go back to one of the specific games, I think Miami looked the teams, hate to say the teams that got in over Notre Dame, but basically the teams that got in over Notre Dame ended up winning. So does that imply the committee got it right? Who knows? I think Notre Dame was playing well enough. They had just as good a chance to win any of those games this weekend.
The only thing the committee did was rank Notre Dame ahead of Miami the whole time until the very end.
And to me,
that would have been fine.
And that was the atrocious part anyway. So, all right. So we'll figure out the CFP. We'll see where it goes. Like I say, 16. I just hope you can't make, off the whim decisions based on a couple of games and no, these teams don't need to get in.
Well, they're going to. They're going to.
I know.
There's going to be significant changes.
Well, okay. Here's a hypothetical for you. Let's just say Duke would have been ranked, and this is no disrespect to Duke, would have been somewhere ranked between Tulane and JMU. So they would be the ones that got in instead of JMU, and they go all the way out to Oregon and play the Ducks. I mean, Oregon is good. Duke is a solid team and can play good. But you don't think Oregon could have beat Duke by 30 just as well as they beat JMU by 30? I mean, come on.
I just think when you send a team, JMU, I love some of the stuff they did on offense. I mean, they got some great stuff. It was just a matchup problem.
It was matchup.
It was the Jimmies and Joes, as they say.
Yes.
And Duke probably has a few more players. Even it is Duke. Duke beat some good football teams this year.
They beat us.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think Clemson's not bad. Like
Clemson,
we have to give Clemson credit. They've won how many games in a row now? 4 or 5? 5?
Something like that.
6?
With 500 in the SEC so far this year.
Right.
Now, I watched JMU play Troy in their conference championship game, and they're legit. But the best part now, we can't talk about this without giving props to JMU social media. Did you see any of that stuff?
I did not.
Man, you got if you hadn't seen anybody listening, you got to go find the JMU Athletic News, I think is what their X account is called. And I mean, they were having a field day. Go back to the week before the game, and it was great. It was great. It was funny, and they were going back and forth with Oregon. So, and they were definitely having fun. Whoever was running that account would definitely fit in on this show for sure. So, but you can't ever tell. Oh, speaking of the ACC and Duke in that scenario, somebody made a point. I don't know who it was, but apparently they have some influence because they were asking this person what they thought, and they made a good point. The first thing you got to do is everybody's got to be as balanced and playing under the same rules as possible. And I don't know what he meant, but what it made me – I don't know if this is what he was specifically referring to, but it made me think about the conference tiebreaker rules and the conference – how many conference games. Not all conferences are going to require everybody to play 9 conference games next year. You got conferences like Clemson who are going to require 9 conference games except for 5 of the teams because there's not the right number of teams where everybody can play 9 conference games.
Clemson being one of them, right?
Correct. Somebody's already pointed out that you can have an 8-1 school and a 7-1 school that never played each other head to head, and the 8-1 school is going to get the mathematical advantage to go into the
they'd have to make a rule where you threw out one. I mean,
I don't know what they're going to do.
Those teams are equal. Or you look at, okay, Clemson's going to play South Carolina, non-conference. They're going to play LSU, non-conference. And after next year, it starts a 10-year or 11-year run of playing Notre Dame every year.
Well, they need to come up. Every conference needs to have the same tiebreakers. And the bottom line is it needs to be whoever's ranked highest in the CFP poll. Duh. And then
right, that would be like getting the 50 states in the United States to all have the same rules and laws. Or even my family in the car trying to decide where we're going to eat.
I'm telling you, you got 5 people, we're going to 3 different restaurants.
Right.
Well, somebody
I
actually,
don't care, and then I pick somewhere and they go, oh, we don't want that.
yeah, not that.
Yeah.
Anything, but I don't care anything. Oh yeah, not that. So anyway,
Well,
all right, but we are matched up against historically perennial powerhouse Penn State, but maybe not this year. They're kind of like us this
it's
year.
the attrition bowl. That's what it was called in an article I read. Hey, Clemson's got a bunch of guys out, but I love the mentality. I love the philosophy. Next man up. These guys are here for a reason. Let them play. Let's go.
Well, so I'm gonna just real quick. We talked about the bowl games and kind of getting aggravated. It is kind of frustrating kids opting out and that kind of stuff. However, it's a different vibe. You just look at the game differently. You're not looking at the game as some grand finale to the season. You're looking at it as, what are we going to look like next year?
Yeah, it's like a jump starting to say, what do we need to get in the portal?
Yeah, and of course, any game's fun to watch, in my opinion, college football, and definitely Clemson. So it's just a different mindset. I hate that
Penn State's got a bunch of guys out too. So
and
their best running backs out.
They hired a coach, but is he coaching them? The new coach? I see. They're kind of between. They're in a little predicament too. So the winner in that game is going to be both schools, because the kids that need reps are going to get reps, and they might be putting something on the field to look better in the portal, whatever it is. I just like to see kids getting after it. That's the thing about, I'm watching that JMU and Troy game. Those kids were getting after it. That Army Navy game, those kids were getting after it. Those kids play.
That's a good watch. I don't care what their records are.
Man, I'm telling you, just want to see the kids play. And you worry, and we are overly critical, but ever since in the big time games and these kids started getting paid all this money, if their team starts falling off, you start thinking, are they really playing as hard as they can? Are they practicing as hard as they can? And it's a legitimate question, but at the same time, you just got to give folks the benefit of the doubt, I guess. We're not grading film.
There will be major changes to NIL one day.
Oh, that's coming.
And Dabo's way of doing things, he'll use the portal, but he's not going to just go get anybody. They got to fit in to Clemson,
to the culture.
To a man, talk to the players. Even the ones that leave, talk to the players about how it is at Clemson.
Yeah,
it can be. Do you know who the coach at JMU was 3 years ago?
Mom Spaghetti, Kurt Signetti.
He wins. Just Google him.
Just
he
Google
put JMU on the map.
Yeah,
they weren't even eligible to compete for their conference championship until 2 years ago. So shout out to the Dukes. One of my
and
former coworkers went to JMU.
Well, and their coach from this year is moving on to Florida. No, where's he going? Arkansas? I don't know.
Possibly. I don't know.
He's getting
look it up. Hey, they ran some good stuff, man. They did some good stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see the quarterback get the pancake block?
I did.
That was awesome.
I did. He scored 100% on that play for sure.
A+.
Well, anyway, we're looking forward to. So, is there we're not going to the game, right, Bailey? Did you change your mind? Are y'all going to New York?
No, we're not going to New York City.
We're not going to New York.
It's going to be 75 here.
It's going to be 75 degrees. I was thinking, is that going to be, watching the game out by the pool maybe? It's a 12 kickoff, right?
No, you can't see it. It's on the projector. You can't. Or the TV, there's a glare. I hadn't sprung for that outdoor TV with the glare protector.
Too sunshiny.
Yeah.
Well, there's a chance that I'll be in your area that day. More info to come later. So we're going to celebrate Christmas, and then we're going to worry about some Clemson football, and then we're going to ring in 2026,
where it's supposed to be cold again by that day.
Yeah, where it's going to be fun. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show. We appreciate you joining us this evening again. Oh, we're not done. Oh yeah,
Clemson basketball.
Oh,
10-3 on the season. 10-3. Just had a good win yesterday against Cincinnati in the Greenville Winter Classic, whatever that is.
It's a class.
Roy Williams getting ready to start ACC play on the 31st of December at Syracuse. They are ranked 35th in the Ken Palm rankings and 38th in the net rankings and right outside the top 25. If they could find a way to finish a game, call Brad Brownell, let him know.
Man.
Cincinnati finally turned it up defensively and they hit 5 3. One guy hit 5 threes and they were like, okay,
yeah.
he's in the zone.
Yeah.
He's in the zone.
They look like a pretty good team. Honestly.
They're physical.
Kind of surprised
Georgia's ranked in the top 25 and they have one loss. And that's the Tigers.
The Tigers. Yeah.
That's gonna help.
I think we're gonna have a pretty good season. So just if we can do good enough to get in the dance and then get on a run, we'll be all right. They're fun to watch.
Yep, they're very competitive.
They're fun to watch, and yeah, I enjoy watching them. So
critical injury to one of the guards, but he's out for the year. The freshman from Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
he's the one that can take it to the rack.
I like watching. Oh man, the son of the player that was there when we were there,
Greg Buckner's son. Yep,
Buckner, man, he's pretty good.
Buckner. He is.
And do you get a? See, I knew he don't remember me, but I think we had a class together. I talked to him, knew him a little bit. Maybe we talked a little bit in Fike or something. He was a nice guy, so I enjoy seeing his son do well. It's kind of like, hey, I know that kid's son.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago, Eldon Campbell passed away in a boating accident, and he was a great Clemson great. So that's back before Greg Buckner, but Buckner was on the team with Rick Barnes' first year when they only played 5 people or 6 people every game. And they won at Duke, and they beat North Carolina. And Barnes almost got in a fight or they lost at North Carolina. And Barnes is getting in an argument with Dean Smith, the greatest coach in the history of North Carolina basketball. And it was awesome. That's when he became my hero. Yeah. But anyway,
it was great. All right. Thanks for watching. We will be back the day after the Clemson game. So that's a Sunday, the Sunday after Christmas, and we will talk Pinstripe Bowl.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thanks for listening.